I'll be giving it a try. I will take you with me to the gym now, and I will just risk it this time. We got week 3 on the plan, legs. That means weight shake, coffee, off to the gym. Just a quick tip, if you really want a creamy shake, then you actually have to take the blender or mixer. That's the secret. Mask, keys, purse, camera, mobile device, squat shoes, towel, off we go. Surprisingly enough, I'm feeling very, very good, even though that I'm a little bit under the weather since like a couple of days. I'm feeling very good now going into the second training session of the day. This time it's quads, it's leg presses, leg extensions, and the leg extension in that gym is like proper shit. And probably I'm now going to introduce something like Bulgarian split squats because of the leg press, the leg extension being so shitty. Felt better than I thought. So first set in the books. I think 4 more sets to go for the leg presses, and we will see how it goes. Just finished the 5 sets of leg press. Now heading over to leg extension, the shitty machine. It was freaking hard. It was freaking hard. And then I'm going to do Bulgarian split squats. Maybe I'll cut it short on the leg extensions then. What I end up using is a yoga mat, just like a pad here, to decrease the range of motion down here on the pad, because the range of motion of this machine is so shitty. This is also one of the reasons why I fucking hate that machine. But it is what it is. This is what we have access to, and that's why I'm going to go with it. Bit sweaty now. Hard session. Still 2 exercises to go. Bulgarian split squats and then cable crunches. I started with a set of Bulgarian split squats and it wasn't here. It simply wasn't here. I think leg press and leg extensions was enough for today. Going to finish the session now with some abs and then heading home and facing the nemesis of the stairs. Stair number 1. Ow. Ow. That isn't fair. Stairs down, then stairs up again. Why? Who thought of this at a fitness studio? Facing it. Ow. 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 Who thought of this? The gym is right there. Right there. Who thought of this? Stairs down, stairs up again. Someone who really hated leg days, or everyone who was committed to doing leg days. Made it. Again, overall, very, very satisfied with the outcome of today. I really thought, and I was afraid that I needed to take an early deload once again. Just because at the beginning of the week I was feeling a little bit under the weather. And now here we are, nearly done with week number 3. 1 more session to go, and then we are heading into the overreaching week. And yeah, The idea with the Bulgarian split squats wasn't good. I just felt like over the past couple of days, and especially weeks, I thought like, maybe there is a little bit more room for additional quad volume here on the second day, but apparently there wasn't. This is the sound that I'm making right now, because this is a manual clutch, not an automatic clutch, which is awful now because my legs are freaking fried. Hey. See? For you, it was only a second. Yeah, this grocery market had only like Halo Top. I'm not the biggest fan of Halo Top, I have to say that. And most of the time, they are very, very crystallized. So I finally found the birthday cake. Normally, I'm not the biggest fan of birthday cakes, the flavor, but I never found that one, or I have seen that one, tasted that one. That's why I have to give it a try. And the peanut butter cups, they are actually decent enough. That's why I went with those. I just needed ice cream. What's going on here? I thought that I'm living outside of Berlin now, and that there isn't any kind of traffic anymore. Guess I was wrong. Fucking hell. Maybe I need to move houses again. Be like, what's it called? A hermit. Somewhere in the mountains or so. Honey, I'm home. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. No one's home. So, back home. Man, it was a good session. I am definitely going to make myself a steak now, simply because I deserve that. It was a very, very good training session. I didn't expect that. Have I already told you that I didn't expect it to go that well? I think I mentioned it at least once or twice. Just because the session I took you with went so well doesn't mean that all of my sessions do look like this, because they simply don't. It is absolutely all right to have sessions where it simply, wasn't great. It is absolutely all right to have these days. That doesn't mean that you need to despair, because thing is, these days are normal. It's just a matter of whether you push through these days or you let these negative or not so optimal days impact the rest of your journey. Yes, I'm still in a gaining phase and I'm still eating my salad. Eat your vegetables, eat your salad, even though you are in a gaining phase. Only because you're in a gaining phase doesn't mean that you can get away with only eating palatable food and highly processed food. There's probably some benefits to still sticking with these kind of things. Make it happen. Make it happen. And back again from the training session, and it was an intense lower body session, so approaching week 4 here next week with the overreaching week and actually taking it a step further. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about is actually the twice daily training, and ever since I transitioned back to it, I have to say that it is the best thing for me in regards to the entire setup. I'm not someone who enjoys being at the gym for too long, so like these long ass sessions of 2-3 hours, simply not made for me, right? I'd rather split it up, go twice or even 3 times daily. I would have a much easier time in doing so instead of being in the gym for such a long period of time. It makes a total difference in regards to my training now. I can give each and every single exercise the attention that it needs, the concentration, the focus, the dedication, the commitment that it needs in order to make the most progress possible. Before that, when I did like lower body sessions like twice per week, I was never capable of actually training the antagonist muscle group as I was supposed to. So for example, now I'm splitting it up like this. First lower body session is
the quads in the morning and then the hamstrings in the evening. Second lower body session is hamstrings in the morning, quads in the evening. And still I'm doing sufficient amount of volume for both sessions, or for now 4 sessions, right? Before that, when I had to do these in one single session or only 2 sessions per week, I was simply not capable in doing so. If I'm then able to do something like 5 sets of leg press followed by 3 sets of leg extensions, if I was to still then do something like 3 sets of RDLs followed by 3 sets of leg curls, not in the cards for me. Not in the cards. I'm tanked. On a per session basis, my MRV is reached. Systemically, I'm able to recover just nicely and just well from it, right? If I were to go into the second training session, so when I'm training twice daily, hit the second session of the day with RDLs and leg curls, and I can even get away with then doing another hip hinge movement like SLDLs in the last lower body session of the week in the AM. So I'm doing RDLs and SLDLs, and still I'm recovering nicely, systemically speaking. But in a per session volume perspective, I could never make that happen. And thus I would always leave something on the table. Right now, I feel like the setup that I have right now, which is an upper, lower, push, pull, lower, upper split. So I'm going to the gym like 6 days out of the week, but only 4 days out of the week I'm going twice daily, because that is all that I need right now in regards to the volume. It could potentially be that in the future I also then need to go 6 times per week twice daily, but right now I don't. So this should give you the idea of me not just randomly going in there just because I want to, but because I have to from a per session MRV basis. I simply can't do the amount of volume and intensity that is required for me in order to make the best progress possible in just one single session that then would last me, would take me like 2 or 3 hours. It's simply not possible for me, at least not in the most productive manner. And that being said, this is where twice daily training comes from, right? It should come from a perspective of like, are you capable in doing so in regards to your lifestyle? Because I'm working from at home, I have time to recover in between the sessions, and so I can actually make it fit my schedule. Yes, I am able to do so. Secondarily, it's a needs analysis. Do I need to do this in order to get the most out of my training? And for me personally, it's a clear yes. Right now, this way, it feels like this is the most productive training I've ever had, to be honest. And this is the second mesocycle I'm doing with this setup. And I can tell you, if I'm able to gain like this, also with my focusedness on the nutrition side of things, then this off-season will be the best off-season I've ever had. I can already tell that right now, because each and every single training session, I'm able to go in there and be as focused and dedicated as possible. And I'm able, each and every single set, to give it my all, to be absolutely laser focused on each and every single repetition, and actually then focusing on like giving it my all, and not just be limited by my overall per session recovery capabilities and energy resources that I have available for that session. So for me personally, right now, it's the best thing, the best setup ever. Once again, that doesn't mean that everyone has to train that way. I know twice daily training is very demanding. I've done it with a lot of my athletes, or not a lot of my athletes, but some of my athletes, because they wanted to give it a try already here due to the lockdown situation. As with so many other people, they were in a position where they could give it a try. They've done it, and they said like, okay, this is not sustainable for me, at least from a psychological perspective, and also just like from a lifestyle perspective. It's cool that I gave it a try, but this isn't for me. And that is absolutely right. Training twice daily is absolutely not mandatory. We have so many anecdotal evidence out there of bodybuilders who only trained once per week a muscle group, right? Typical bro splits, which 80 to 90% of the bodybuilders are still doing and are making fantastic progress with that one as well, right? But for me personally, this setup that I'm running right now, I feel is the best setup ever. I've experimented with twice daily training back in 2017 and I could already feel that this actually fits my type of the type of lifter that I am quite nicely. And now I've gotten back to that, and I have to say, like, okay, this is me. This is me. When I'm going into the gym, I enjoy every single moment of that. Before that, not so much, right? Because there was a certain threshold that I was always exceeding that was necessary, though, to be there in order to get a productive training session in. And right now, I actually get to that threshold with an AM and PM split, get to that threshold, but I'm not doing more. I'm not going above that threshold because I still have to do like hip hinge movements or the hamstring movements. No, it's then happening in a separate training session. So I'm going in there, get to that threshold that I'm able to recover from, but also from a mental perspective that I'm able to like still stay focused and dedicated. And then I'm heading back home, have a little bit of a break, refueling, heading back into the gym again and giving it my all for the other session. And once again, going from their zero range up to the threshold, and then I can head back home again. So once again, just as a summary, I just want to make it very clear. Twice daily training is not for everyone. It depends on many different factors. Sometimes they are even conflicting. Sometimes you want to do that, but your life simply doesn't allow for that. And if you then still try it, probably you're going to break. And that is what a stubborn person would do, right? Trying to make it happen when it's clearly not in the cards for you, right? So it's definitely not for everyone. And I can also very much understand that then there are other people out there saying like, okay, if you're able to train twice daily, what is fucking wrong with you? You're not training hard enough in one single session. I can understand where this notion is coming from, but it's kind of flawed in many different ways, because we simply know that there is a session MRV. There is a certain threshold that when you exceed that, you simply don't have much to give anymore for each and every single exercise that is to follow, and it would just feel like a little bit of junk volume. Instead, you could take a short break, go ahead, head home, take a little bit of a break, refuel, re-energize, go back and hit it hard again with a very focused mindset, just with a little bit of a break in between. And thus you end up with two very productive sessions, which may end up be the same amount of volume that you would have been doing like normally, but with a much more dedication, with much more focus, with much more of a productive stimulus that you then created for hypertrophic outcomes. So that's it for this week, guys. I really do hope that you enjoyed now me recording a little bit the gym environment. I will make sure to record this way more often so that you actually get an insight of the training that we are doing, and it was very much requested anyway. So guys, thank you very much for tuning in. As always, hit the notification button, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and I guess I'll speak to you next week. Cheers, guys.